Spike Bell, Windsor's own. Spike, how are you, sir?
Very good, very good. Thank you for coming over. I
You know
appreciate
what?
it.
Hey, it's 21 years, Art in the Park.
All right, 21.
That
I think it's 21 plus.
21 plus. They forgot. They should add that.
Yeah, the ratting's not too good.
So, how's it going, sir? What's happening in your
Very
life?
good. With the weather just sort of a little iffy, but it's been going very well.
Yeah.
We've had a pretty good day.
Excellent, excellent. So, what's new at Spike? What's happening?
Well, we've still got the book. We got the that's going over quite well, and that's still moving.
Excellent.
Then we have latest images.
The latest images are up here.
Right here. There's the digital image right there in the back. That was shot on a digital Nikon. So we're trying to show something different.
Absolutely. Now, have you been traveling much? Have you been?
We are going to go to Jasper and Banff in September.
Excellent.
I'm looking forward to that.
New project or what?
Some new pictures out there. My wife has never been to Banff. I want to show her around there. It's beautiful scenery, just incredible.
Now, Spike, how long have you been doing this?
He really wants to know?
More than 21 years. And
Yeah, 100 years. Yeah. Yeah, it's been a while. I started out 1950 and I joined the Navy, and I was Navy photographic and went on from there. Yep.
Now, I can't even imagine the things you've photographed and things you've seen over the time, obviously because you're looking for the right shot. So
Well, I was a newspaper photographer for quite a number of years, and I had the pleasure to photographing President Kennedy, President Eisenhower, just Robert Kennedy, Martin Luther King, and right on down the line, Rosa Parks. Just some wonderful memories that keep flashing back to me because they were incredible people. It was part of our history. I photographed Robert Kennedy 3 weeks to the day he was shot on a Wednesday, and then 3 weeks later on a Wednesday in Los Angeles he was killed. He was here in Detroit. Yeah, so a lot of memories there, and they flash back once in a while. General Eisenhower, who was he was president. It was the days when security was not as tight as they are now. You look at one of the presidential people today, and they're ready to take your head off. But back in those days, it was a little lighter, but friendlier. Yeah. And I don't think the threats were out there at that time. So,
true enough.
but a lot of people I think back on it, I'm amazed. A lot of it's in my book, Memoirs of Border City.
That's amazing.
Pictures in there.
Now, Spike, when I always wonder with anybody, like especially that has attained your kind of success level and your passion for what you do, how'd you start? What happened? Like, how did you figure this? How did this all come about?
I think it was just you start with a smaller camera. I had a small reflex camera, and I started working on that, and then worked up to a 4x5. The old press camera. There's right in the corner of that poster.
This one right here. That's awesome. Looking quite sharp, I must say. Quite debonair, sir.
But then you work up, and then they went from the 4x5 format to the 35 and 2 1/4 format. And when I had the 2 1/4, when I photographed the Beatles, that was back in 1964.
Wow. Where was this taken?
It was at the Olympia Stadium in Detroit. It's long gone now. Yeah. So it's.
Now, can I ask you what made you pick up a camera in the first place? Why? How?
Just like you picking up a microphone.
Out of the blue.
Yeah, out of the blue. Right out of the blue. I just wanted to do it.
Just got glued to your head.
You got glued. You sleep with it. You practically sleep with the camera. Yeah, it's like you have a passion for it.
Yes.
You have a passion for what you're doing right here. Mm-hmm. And I have a passion. It hasn't died yet. And I want to try something different. It's moving in a different direction, as we talked about off this microphone, but you're into the digital format. You either get with it or get out of it.
Absolutely.
Right now, I want to learn digital. I'm still learning the digital. It's a whole new ball game for me, but it's fun. You make mistakes, which I have made mistakes with film, but with digital, it's a learning process.
Gotcha. No, I totally agree. Even with us, we're trying to keep up with the game. 6 months. 6 months later, we're like, okay, we need the newest stuff. So yeah, it's a process.
You constantly learn. I tell young photographers today, go like for one of my favorites is to go to an art gallery. If you want to be an artist, and go in like the Detroit Institute of Arts, it's one of the best in this whole area. Go and study what the masters have done back 1600. They have a lot of old paintings worth millions of dollars. But study them. What did they do then? What you're doing today? Not too much has changed. Not too much, but you need to learn from other photographers, get some books, start. I must have 2 or 3 people here today. I want to come out and see you for photography. I'll talk to them. You need to learn. You have the vision, and you have the drive. Then good. Study from the masters. That's the whole.
I'm almost. Obviously, you've earned such a name for yourself, but there are so many aspiring photographers, not only here but everywhere. And is there anything that either words of wisdom or something you live by personally, whether it's a phrase that goes in your mind every time you pick up the camera and it's time to shoot, but is there something you can kind of give to them?
Well, I think just to get out there and shoot, study from the masters, learn the composition, the lighting, and all that. I mean, the photographers of the past, Ansel Adams, Joseph Karsh. I mean, one right now that I get a real interest in is Clyde Butcher. He's down in Florida. But there's a lot of good ones out there. Ann Geddes is an excellent photographer, and she does a lot of baby portraits. Well, these are incredible people, and they've studied, they've got the vision, they've got the drive, and they want to do what is best. And you can learn from these people. And, just bury your ego and look what another photographer is doing. I tell photographers this all the time here. And there's some that just never get out of their cocoon. Yeah. They're still there, and they'll always be there, and they'll never change. But if you're going to be successful, then look at what's going on around you. Learn the new techniques, which I'm learning. And I think it's fantastic. It's a fantastic field. I love it.
So it almost falls back on the knowledge is power. Right?
It's there, and you just hey, you move with it. You don't get stuck in the mud. You got to keep moving forward.
I got you. Spike, one last thing before we leave. Can you give me a little depiction, give me a little description about this image here?
This was shot during the wintertime. It's over. This is actually Belle Isle. The bugs on here, and I shot it from on. This was shot on film on a Hasselblad, on film, and it was just that fog. It was just settling in right there. I spotted it, grabbed the camera. You can see the ice in the river right here, and it's there. The image is there, and it just boom pops. So we put it in a nice frame, and we had a lot of kickers here today looking at it.
That's beautiful. Well, Spike, it was absolute pleasure to meet you, and hey, it was great. Thank you for your time, sir.
Thank you for coming by, and thanks for asking for the interview. It was a real pleasure talking to you.
Pleasure, sir. Take care. My best.
You want
Hey guys, before we walk away, if you want any Spike Bell art, any information, I'm just going to pass it on to Spike. He's going to give you some more details quickly.
I live in Tecumseh, and you can go on my website www.spikebell.com, or email me spike@spikebell.com, or just plain phone me 519-735-2094. If that doesn't work, we use smoke signals.
Just get a hold of him. You get the point? Thanks. Social TV, back at you.